Good morning, everybody. Uh, at the outset, I would like to thank the rain gods today for having the sun out right in the morning. And congratulations to everybody who's been able to make it to this room at this point of time. Last night, I was having a chat with Ankit on how rain should not play a spoiled sport, but I strongly believe that with all the positive energies converging in, right, uh, you guys made this happen. And a big round of applause for everybody who's been able to make this. Yes. So as an introduction, I'm Shubham. I'm a chartered accountant by qualification, and I've been working with Shark Tank India behind the scenes since around 4 seasons. There's a lot of news around how people don't get funds, around how people are not able to get the right funds at the right time, right? So I'm the guy who is a transaction advisor to a lot of Shark offices, and I help startups think the right way. When we say that we build for Bharat, right, you can't sit in a Bangalore coffee shop and think about pricing a product which is costing more than a daily wage earner's weekly salary. So that is where the gap in understanding that how disruption works in India. Having dealt with around more than 100 startups in the last 3 to 4 years, helping them understand how to raise funds and also helping investors to understand where to put the right kind of money. I strongly feel that the notion that physical retail is dead has now gone. We must appreciate that in the last 2 odd years, Nykaa came up with 100 plus stores. Lenskart, as everybody mentioned, has 1,000 plus stores. Probably we've reached a time where we've realized that glasses aren't like books. People need to feel them before they buy them. The Indian consumer is a very creative consumer. The Indian consumer by no means is only dependent on an online uh, sales channel. Have you heard about concepts like Broadway? Anyone in the room who knows what Broadway is doing in India right now, right? Have you experienced how offline experiences are helping brands sell online and offline? Snitch, a perfect example of what they've done with their experience stores, right? Uh, the D2C revolution, in terms of bringing in the right investments, in my opinion, has completely transformed in the last 2 years. Gone are the days when you would think that doing an online ad would convert your customer to purchasing. Gone are the days when investors would ask for your CAC instead of your unit economics. Today, what matters is that if you are getting eyeballs with the right kind of ads, and I'm sure Amazon ads helps us in a great way, in that context. But in order for you to convert an advertisement to an experience, you need omni-channel presence 100%. Pardon me for my knowledge, I see a lot of experience in this room already. But given my practical experience on how you make money out of every rupee that you spend on your investment, a lot of allocation should be done into sales and distribution strategies where distribution plays a key role. I would like to name a couple of instances where I personally feel that distribution helped startups kind of crack sales and investments both. For me, Skippy Ice Pops what a product, man. It's Chusky, right? It's an ice popsicle. They made sure that they follow the ITC journey of distribution and made sure that every Panwadi and every nook and corner of India has a Skippy Ice Pop to pair it, let's say, with something like a smoke, like a cigarette. When you think innovatively about distribution, it not only helps you crack a customer, it also helps you crack the right investor for the right product. And if you can pair it with a thought process of your customer is the best investor, you're there. In the earlier days, I think post-COVID, when we called it the funding winter, I don't say that was the funding winter. Probably Game of Thrones gave us the concept of a winter and everybody started talking about a funding winter, right? No, there's no summer and winter in investments. There are always corrections in valuations, be it the public markets or be it the private markets. I strongly believe that startup economy is all private market. I would like to think of it like that because of the way India has grown, right? As a founder, as an entrepreneur, think of yourself as an entrepreneur making an investor invest in your equity. Once an investor invests in your equity, you're already part of the unlisted space, right? Now, how do you create value? Valuation is not about having a valuation report, doing a discounted cash flow method, right? and just quoting a number for an investor to raise funds at the right value. Valuation is all about adding the real value to the product that you're selling in the market, right? Look at Boat. They understood how to sell headphones in India. Online marketing, spot on, right? They knew where the college kids hang out. So they're everywhere, from a Chroma, right, to an electronic shop in Karol Bagh. I don't know how, but an uncle in Karol Bagh having an electronic shop has a latest Boat model. The demand is right there. India is see, as D2C, the demand is right there. India is the best playground for any D2C brand in the world today. You are in a consumption economy. You are in an economy where the aspiration to buy a product in a tier 2, tier 3 city is very high right now. You can't do innovation in a boardroom in Bangalore. Innovation is happening in WhatsApp communities in Bhopal. That's how India is growing, and it's growing massively. You look at success stories of startups like Mamaearth. It's a distribution that killed it for them. It's a distribution that worked for them. Distribution, in its essence, it's just like a gym membership. Trust me. The first day is the hardest day, right? Right, to get up, to kind of bog yourself up, and then go to the gym, pick up the first dumbbell, right? But once you set the process right, it's an autopilot. धंधा करने का मजा amazing होता है when you actually make money. But if every month you are in a stress of raising the next round and calculating your runways, right, there will be a day when there'll be no space left. So if today, as an entrepreneur, you start thinking about how to make the real value, even at the, I'm not against burning money. It's fine if you burn on marketing, excellent. I want Amazon ads also to make a lot of money, right? Give you the right kind of eyeballs, right? Thanks to our sponsors. But at the unit economic level, if you're not able to bring out a profitability, CM1, CM2, CM3, there are a lot of metrics, right? A lot of investors, a lot of founders look at MISs, right? Say, okay, this is where we are and this is how we want to raise funds. But how many of you actually understand the purpose of a contribution margin when you're doing a unit economics calculation? I've experienced a lot of times, and even at Shark Tank India, when I speak to founders, I've experienced that the founders often come back with a response saying that, "Ye aap hamare CA se puchiye." See, I'm a chartered accountant. I'm a founder as well. I'm trying to raise money for myself as well in order to understand that how this works, correct? But what happens is, if as an entrepreneur you don't know your business, then you can't conduct your business. You need to know what is the value of a CM1. You need to know what is the value of a CM2. You need to know what is a CM3R. It's your business, it's your baby. When you become a parent, right, you don't know how to raise a child, but you do learn about it, right? You do learn about what is the right kind of food. You do learn about what is the right kind of education. As entrepreneurs, all of us need to put in that kind of an effort into our startup, and that is where the corporate governance kicks in. If we say that we have to solve for distribution, right? Byju's did solve for distribution, but turns out their accounts were more creative than their content. That's what happened. So when you pair distribution with the right kind of corporate governance, that is the real mantra for raising the right kind of money from your investors. Look at Go Mechanic, great idea, decent execution, small problem, right? Turns out you can't have a garage aggregator without having actual garages, right? Right? Because corporate governance not paired with business understanding, trust me, you're wasting your time and your investors' time in today's world. Guys, the valuation correction has happened. The investment thesis has improved. If you think about raising money right now, I feel it is the best time to raise money in the Indian economy. But if you are a founder, as a founder, you're not able to raise money, instead of blaming the ecosystem, go back to the drawing board. Ask yourself a few questions which will really, really help you improve your mindset and raise the right kind of funds from the right kinds of investors. Pittal for me is a very good example as a D2C startup which created an experience. If you have a look at Pittal's cap table, lovely set of investors on the cap table. They utilized their investors in the best possible manner because they knew what to raise, when to raise, and how to raise. And I think as D2C entrepreneurs and as D2C founders, we must appreciate any D2C brand that has gone out of India, taken the Indian story to the world, and helping something like a brass utensil or a copper utensil find value globally. If you create value, you get global eyeballs. There's no doubt about it. There are a few mantras or which I penned down and I would like to share with you all. it's not just what's your CAG anymore, right? It's all about your unit economics. It's not about how fast you are growing. It's all about sustainable growth. 2 years ago, when I used to talk about all this, nobody used to believe me. Everybody used to think that if I'm able to show the right GMV, nobody would actually look at how much am I burning, or nobody would actually look at what is my net GMV. I'm just trying to talk some technical terms so that we understand that how it functions. You sell a product for 1,000 rupees, discount it up to 300 rupees, and you show your GMV at 1,000 rupees. Let me tell you guys, this doesn't work anymore. As D2C aspiration, entrepreneurs, we need to value that what is the value my customer is getting at 300 rupees. You need to think that how many of you are building the business that you would want to buy from, not as an entrepreneur, but as a customer. You have teams, right? You need to think that how many of your products your team is willing to buy from. You're building institutions, right? You need to think that are you an institution that you would look at yourself at in the future? The real distribution, the real disruption is not happening in closed glass doors. I would strongly recommend everybody to go on the ground, talk to your customers, understand what is the price that they're willing to pay for. See, India is a volume economy. Once you know what is the right product market fit, as they call, right? In simple language, it's just the right amount of money that you're willing to pay for, let's say, a Colgate toothpaste that you're buying. There are a lot of toothpaste brands as well in D2C space, right? Yeah, and we need to see the modern trade has kicked in. How did the modern trade succeed? Think of something like Modern Bazaar, right? It is the distribution ground, it is the distribution foreplay, which has helped even the modern trade. So as D2C entrepreneurs, as D2C aspiring founders and investors, if omni-channel is not a part of your business plan, you honestly need to think about it. It's not about getting featured on magazines anymore. It's about having customers who can't imagine life without a product. And it's not about raising the biggest round. It's about building a business that doesn't need to keep raising rounds. I'll give you a very, very strong mantra in terms of when you raise equity and debt. If you raise equity, raise it for growth. You cannot rotate your working capital. आप salaries मत pay करो please equity money से. That's the wrong allocation of funds. Sooner or later you're going to die down as a business. If you want to grow, your salary, your working capital has to come out of the money that you make at the unit economic level. Marketing के लिए हाँ you raise funds, right? That is growth, and that is how you build first the right time. Don't fake it till you make it. That's a very, very wrong notion that happens. Don't fake it till you make it, but focus on building the right product the first time. If you're going to business that lasts a long time, you need to change how we think about success. Make it profitable. Find value for your investors. Find the right investor. And last but not the least, the future belongs to those who can build great products, distribute them intelligently, and run their companies like the institutions they want to become. So remember, owning equity is easy. I mean, you can invest and own equity, but it's creating value out of that equity, which is an art. Thank you so much, everybody, for having me here. Good luck for the event today, and yes, cheers. Thank you so much.